Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So although we have had a bit of a rebound in the crypto market, guys, we are still clocking in at 7 on the Fear and Greed Bitcoin Index. This is coming from Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index at Bitcoin Fear on Twitter, retweeted out by Jameel Case here. Wow, you can see, a lot of people still very, very petrified. It doesn't look like the market is stopping. However, I'm going to get to some news later on in this video that might have you guys feeling a little bit more optimistic by the end. So right now, Bitcoin's trading at 21,200, essentially almost hitting its former all-time high, set back in December of 2017. So it's looking as though we're almost seeing here. Let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can I can get that on the full screen here. Almost seeing what is looking like, let me just shift that up a little, a back test of the former all-time high. So that was at $20,000, and the Bitcoin price has retraced about 70% since its all-time high. And so $20,000, also a significant psychological trading level. You can see buying activity did rally at that point here. If I throw that on the hourly, you guys can see buying activity really did start to shoot up, and it is looking like we are forming, at least on the short term, forming what is looking like an inverted head and shoulders pattern, so hopefully we start moving to the upside. However, that's just the short term. There is still a possibility that Bitcoin could drop even further and bring altcoins along with it. Whoops, let me just bring up XRP right here real quickly. XRP on the chart, and again, this is XRP on the daily. You guys can see, if I just bring that, up here, XRP also finding some support down in here. So really kind of finding it in and around that 30-cent mark right now. XRP is trading at 31.5 cents. So just following the Bitcoin market. T-Analyst here on Twitter posting this article, and he doesn't usually post articles. He usually posts his technical analysis, but he's saying right now 98.5% of all cryptocurrencies are down, more than 90% from their all-time high. Around 95.5% of the cryptocurrencies have fallen by more than 99.99% from their peaks. So this is essentially symptomatic of the entire market, guys. It's not just your coin, whether it's XRP or whether, whatever cryptocurrency it is. XRP has actually fared fairly well considering. Crypto crash exposes a painful reality, basically the fact that this market is full of crap coins. Yeah, 19,000 plus cryptocurrencies are not going to be able to last in the space. And so, again, this is why you got to do your own research, got to pick coins that are going to solve problems in a real world situation. And just down here it says, judging by the size of the pullback from the record prices, the best performing significantly capitalized coins are BNB Coin, Bitcoin FTX, Tron, and Ethereum, with respective drawdowns of only 68.9%, 69.1%, 72.4%, 75.1%, and 77.14% respectively. And interestingly enough, Bitcoin's market dominance, which has historically fallen during bull markets and risen significantly during bear markets, is at about 42.9%. So roughly the same as it has been even back during its peak in November. So that's interesting to note. We are seeing this coordinated move across the entire crypto space. Altcoins are moving in tandem. And despite that, we've been hearing about firings and layoffs and all this. Brad Garlinghouse has said Ripple is hiring for hundreds of roles around the globe, both in person and remote. Fair warning, though, we have a no assholes policy, as he puts in quotes there. And if that's the kind of culture you're looking for, apply here. And so he posts a Ripple careers link here if you guys might be out of work looking for a job. Ripple, Binance, two of the major cryptocurrency companies at this moment in time that are hiring, whereas so many cryptocurrency companies are laying people off. So what does that tell you as well, right? For a company like Ripple, or even Binance for that matter, to be able to do this, continuing their hiring spree, that to me speaks volumes to these companies' fundamentals and, the faith that one can have in these particular companies moving forward. Now, that's not speaking to their cryptocurrencies per se. Each cryptocurrency is designed to work in the way it does. So I'm not equating Binance Coin to XRP in this particular example, but I just thought I'd bring this up. With regards to XRP, though, we're still seeing a lot of Ripple-enabled companies, for example, Flutterwave's making moves in the space. So Flutterwave, Africa's leading payment technology company today, they just announced the appointment of O'Neill Bombani as its new chief financial officer. So they are changing CFOs. He joins the company from American Express and Kabbage, where he managed fintech businesses operating at scale and helped lead the sale of Kabbage and its integration with American Express's global commercial services segment, having recently completed a $250 million round in Series D funding, valuing the company at over $3 billion. Flutterwave is going through a period of rapid growth as well. So just down here in the article, just talks a little bit about O'Neill's accomplishments. And then down here, this period of growth has enabled Flutterwave to further add to its global financial team, bringing in executives with a strong track record in controllership, treasury, and tax. The company hired Rebecca Mandel, former Kabbage controller, and Daniel Eidson, former Kabbage head of treasury and tax. Both Rebecca and Daniel will report directly to O'Neill. So for a company like Flutterwave, who is growing by leaps and bounds, this is part of a strategy where, they've got to kind of keep up, right? They need CFOs, executives at a high level in order to keep pace with their technology, their business growth. Of course, spurred on by Ripple-enabled technology. I've talked a little bit about Flutterwave on this channel in the past, and how they are really permeating the African market at an unprecedented speed. So thought that was some interesting news. Wanted to bring you guys this as well from the Wrath of Kahneman. Ripple user Currency Cloud is going to provide cross-border transactions for Swinto. They've partnered with Swiss-based Valenus AG to launch Swinto, a financial app that offers easy, accessible, instant money transfers to Swiss-based Kosovars at no charge to them. The people-friendly Swinto app cuts out the time and complexity that the Kosovar population usually endure with sending money home through Swiss-based banks, and means they will no longer be stung by high fees associated with other providers. The Swinto app offers Swiss-based Kosovars the opportunity to instantly transfer money to their families and friends back home at no cost. At the same time, users can make retail and online purchases with the Swinto app. And so leveraging Ripple-enabled technology through Currency Cloud's API is going to offer its low-cost FX conversions to its customers, enabling them to instantly convert money between CHF, Euros, GBPs, and USD currencies at any time, anywhere. The partnership will also allow Swinto to increase its currency offerings as it expands to other regions in Western Europe and the Western Balkans, including Albania. And here's a quick quote, guys, from the CEO of the Swinto Group. Swinto was created to financially serve the underserved, to include unbanked customers in the financial system, and to contribute to the formalization of the Kosovo economy. We aim to connect Kosovars living in different countries via the Swinto app for sending and receiving the almost 1 billion euros that flows through Kosovo annually. So Swinto now partnering up with Ripple-enabled Currency Cloud, looking to keep leveraging the technology. DLT adding to that flywheel effect, more value driven to the XRPL. Wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. Also wanted to mention this, guys, posted by Michael at Val5Links. This has to do with Zago, which is a stablecoin built on the XRP ledger. Well, they just recently released their most recent market research report. So they launched the stablecoin, the XUS, on Ripple's XRP ledger. They teased their users that it will be releasing a new market research report next month. And so the Zago team shared the development in a video snippet. At Sento Saba over there on Twitter, she shared that development, fully compliant, fully audited, and backed by the US dollar. XUS is on the XRP ledger in Africa. And so I don't know if they link that in here. No, I don't think it's linked in here. Anyway, if you go over to her Twitter profile, I'm sure you'll be able to find it there. Recall that Zago announced the launch of its stablecoin dubbed XUS, which is pegged to the US dollar and based on the XRPL. With XUS, users can use the payment method to send and deposit funds with US dollars, as well as the USDC stablecoin, so another stablecoin there pegged to the USD. Zago was founded in 2016, enables its users to send funds instantly at an insignificant cost compared to traditional financial institutions. Interestingly, following the launch of the XUS on the XRPL, Zago has further enhanced its entire operations to make financial settlements easier for everyone, especially Africans. I'm finding more and more that these are the regions of the world that we are seeing the most development for DLT technology and instant payments. Unbanked and underbanked populations, like many African nations, are really kind of seeing the benefit of this first. And I think, that is part and parcel to the fact that, the rules and regulations for crypto adoption in some parts of the world is already clear. So, they can start adopting this type of technology. And quite frankly, these are the people who need these instant payments at very affordable costs the most. In the Western world, we're still trying to iron out the kinks. But this is why, again, right, utilizing the XRPL for this type of application, and why we're seeing, Ripple really thrive in many different countries around the world outside of the United States. This is where they're getting 95% of their business. So, to me, it's no surprise that this is what we're seeing in different parts of the world, and why we're seeing payments, and not just payments, ease of payments really thrive over there. We are proud to announce the launch of XUS Stablecoin, which enables our clients from all over the world to transact with US dollars. This is a quote. The funds will now arrive at their destination in a matter of hours, not days, and for a far less cost than the global average of just over 6%. So boom, more adoption of Ripple's technology, in this case the Zago stablecoin. Wanted to thank Michael for pointing that out. Meanwhile, back in the United States, is looking as though Perianne Boring has finally decided to address the elephant in the room. You remember how they were avoiding the XRP lawsuit like the plague? Well, Fred Rispoli posting this, well, fancy that. Look who's decided to finally come around. Better late than never, I guess. And so this is a statement here from the Chamber of Digital Commerce. Now, I did a video about these characters recently, relatively recently. I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner if you guys want some more context to that. But here's what they report. Well, some of these statements purport to be guidance in this area. So this is with regards to digital currencies in the context of the U.S. None offer a specific framework for determining with reasonable certainty whether a digital asset at any moment in time is in fact a security, nor are they binding statements other than those specific to a particular platform like the Dow report, Turnkey Jet, and Pocket Full of Quarters. Indeed, the fact that XRP had been issued and outstanding for 8 years and was treated as a currency by another U.S. government agency, and yet is now considered to be a security by the Commission, is a clear example of the difficulty that issuers and market intermediaries have in reasonably assessing how the Commission will treat a given digital asset now or in the future. So she's calling it out. XRP being treated as a security, even though, a lot of these guys in the crypto space are very anti-Ripple, or have been since the beginning. The anarchy, the contrary movement, the down with the man types. Now they're starting to realize that maybe we should be addressing this situation because it could help us out. Well, I wanted to thank Fred here for posting that. John Deaton also posting this on Twitter yesterday. I asked the question, why didn't Jay Clayton do more to clear up the ambiguity and foster innovation by providing regulatory clarity, considering he had the votes with Hester Peirce and Elad Roisman? This is a letter from 16 members of Congress begging for clarity. And guys, I'm not going to read you the full letter, but I will link this in the description of the video. This letter is dated October 1st, 2018. So, they've been begging for clarity for a very, very long time. And you can see the list of 16 Congress people here, including Tom Emmer, Darren Soto, Warren Davidson, some of the people that we've been hearing from recently. Well, John Deaton, Jeremy Hogan, and J.W. Baird, they just recently did a podcast. I believe it was hosted by John Deaton just yesterday. Here's a snippet from the virtual conference. Listen to this, guys.
On this speech, instead of giving this speech, why didn't they just adopt that safe harbor where it said you have 3 to 5 years to meet these markers, and Ripple, if you don't meet these markers, or ETH, you don't meet these markers, then you have to register. If you do, it is great, and you go on and you're sufficiently decentralized, or whatever language. Why was that not adopted under Chairman Clayton? He had the votes. He had Elad Roisman and he had Hester Peirce. I don't know. Do you know the answer to that question?
I got to pass that one to JW. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think you're going to talk more about this later, but, obviously I think that it's come to be that we know now that Mr. Hinman probably had some ulterior motives for that speech, maybe jumped the gun, and didn't have the backing that maybe he needed in order to really get the commissioner's views out there. But I don't know.
JW, any thoughts? I know you have a hard stop soon.
Sure. I know Jay a long time. I disagreed with him on his approach to crypto. Believe me, I had a lot of private conversations with him during the ICO era where I said, I don't like some things happening in some of these ICOs. I love to get a crypto-specific regulatory regime. Hester's safe harbor hadn't been out yet. I wish it had. I would have been arguing for that. But I had a lot of tough conversations with him because it was the one area where I just glaringly disagreed with him. I don't know Hinman. I don't know what Hinman was about, so I can't tell you that. I think Jay's heart was in the right place. I don't think he had any nefarious intent. I think he was just risk averse. It was a new thing, and he was a classic regulation guy, and he didn't want to try anything new. And it was a mistake, and it was the wrong decision. I don't think there was anything unethical about him. I just don't know Bill. I mean, I don't like the optics of what happened here. What I've seen so far from when Power has taken out, it seemed like he didn't comply with the ethics requirements, and that's a problem. I don't think that's on Jay. I think that's on Bill. I don't know why. I don't know why he didn't do more. Give us the guidance and the clarity that we need. I wish they had.
Well, listen, I thank you both, JW and Jeremy, for sharing your thoughts tonight. I hope.
And I'll end it there. Sounds like it was the end of the interview. So J.W. Verrett here, stating he knows Jay Clayton very well, doesn't actually think that there were any ulterior motives with Jay Clayton, with anything nefarious there. He says he does not know Bill Hinman, though, so he doesn't actually know. He can't speak to that. Nevertheless, he does say the optics just don't look good. Considering, as John Deaton stated and did post here on Twitter, 16 members of Congress were begging for clarity. This letter officially proposed October 1st, 2018, months after the Hinman speech, and we still don't have regulatory clarity. It's been 4 years, and there still is no regulatory clarity. Anyway, I wanted to thank Digital Perspectives here for posting that, and John Deaton, obviously, for hosting this little get-together, and of course, for his post earlier. There was also the panel discussion and Q&A, and then there was a question of the Ripple lawsuit. Again, J.W. Verrett makes an appearance here, along with a couple of other people. This posted by Crypto Eddie on Twitter. Listen to this.
I have some thoughts on the Ripple litigation. I'm actually doing a panel at 7 o'clock, a podcast at 7 o'clock tonight. Y'all should listen. With John Deaton, who's been very involved in that litigation. And a couple of other folks. There's a lot to say there. Sometimes court challenges against agencies can go against you. Sometimes you can get the opposite answer you want. That's true. That particular litigation, I think, probably will not get the far-reaching reinterpretation of Howey that I'd prefer. It'll probably be either settled or outcome on other grounds. Although I still contend that even though circuit-by-circuit analysis of Howey, which is what most lawyers will do for you, the SEC has a lot of discretion and the odds are in their favor. But if this case were reconsidered by the Supreme Court today, they had a chance to take a look at the original language in Howey. That language is pretty strict. I won't belabor it, but there are some qualifiers on that language that are pretty strict that have been watered down a lot by circuit courts over the last couple of decades.
Right now, the big one appears to be the Ripple case. I think it will take a while for that case to wind its way up through the courts, potentially up to the Supreme Court. I think it makes a lot of sense to file in a bunch of different districts in a bunch of different circuits and just have this kind of bubble its way up.
Now, I agree with Commissioner First, when she says, we don't want to have enforcement, regulation by enforcement, where you wait until you have some big, massive case. If you then have a settlement, and that becomes a template for the whole industry. But at the same time, I wish more in the crypto industry would go to court. But short of that, let's go to court. Why not?
I will also. Oh.
I was just going to say I've been advised publicly not to talk about my interest in suing the SEC.
All right, so we'll end it there. Back to the J.W. Verrett comment here, specifically talking about the Ripple SEC lawsuit and, the interpretation of Howey, how that language has been watered down. He sees a potential settlement, or, if this case is contested, it could go to the Supreme Court, and at that point, the Supreme Court could rule in favor of Ripple. Now, the bad news with that interpretation is that this could take longer than we want, but, that is par for the course. For what is on the line here, this is a landmark case, guys. This is going to shape cryptocurrency legislature in the United States. So an interesting interpretation there. And then I saw this, guys, from Documenting Ripple. This is Lewis Cohen on Laura Shin's program. He's a blockchain attorney. And here's what he had to say about XRP as a security. Listen to this.
I can say with confidence that there's nothing in the case law that supports the idea that an asset that's recognized as not a security should be hypothetically treated as security when it's traded between people who are not otherwise involved in the transaction. Like you and me buying assets on Gemini, or just trading amongst ourselves, or using a decentralized exchange. Moreover, we have the SEC's own words. You may be familiar, if you follow the whole Ripple saga, that a group of disgruntled XRP holders attempted to intervene in the Ripple case as defendants, which is kind of an unlikely thing. And in doing so, they filed a motion with the court in the Ripple action, and the SEC responded. And on page 24 of that response, the SEC acknowledged that the XRP token is not in itself a security. And it said, well, similar to the Gram token in
So he finishes off by saying, similar to the Telegram token, the SEC did liken XRP to that and essentially made that claim. XRP is not like a security. So this particular crypto lawyer believes that there is still a strong case for Ripple for them classifying XRP as a non-security. And of course, again, if that is what comes out in court, that's going to be a landmark judgment, and that is going to really shape how the rest of these cryptocurrencies are classified. Now, with regard to the crypto market right now, almost 20,000 cryptocurrencies in the space. So that number has even gone up since the last time I took a look at this, which was only a few days ago. Market cap is up now to about $900 billion, and Bitcoin dominance hovering at around 44.4%. And notice, guys, this is all taking place at the time of a cryptocurrency market collapse. Let me just bring up the total market cap here on the daily. And you guys can see right now we are hovering a little bit above where we were hovering just yesterday. So now the market is right around here. And so what do we call that? Well, as of now, it's at about $883 billion here on CoinMarketCap, if I just were to refresh that. Okay, so it's off by a little, $908 billion. The market, though, not too healthy, although we have seen a rebound. So think about all the coins that have already decreased 70, 80, 90%. Think of all the coins that by and large will go to zero. You know, as I mentioned at the top of the video with T Analyst's tweet here, the vast majority of coins are plummeting to zero. We have the Celsius debacle. We had the Luna debacle. So is the purge already happening before all this legislation comes to pass? And is the SEC doing this purposely to kind of purge all the crap coins before the eventuality of Ripple coming out of the lawsuit gloriously and victoriously, so at least they don't have to worry about, you know, some of the coins that have already been obliterated? Interesting in terms of the timing. And how long is this market going to stay this way? So Jungle Inc. posted this, a great interview with Michael Arrington by Tony from Thinking Crypto. Now, this is a great clip. Michael Arrington, founder of Arrington Capital, here's what he had to say about markets and the crypto market in particular. And I think it's going to make you guys feel a little better about the crypto market. Listen to this.
We're already paying like $300 billion a year in interest. And entitlements, interest, and defense are well over 100% of tax receipts. Like we can't. And the more debt we pile on, the harder it's going to be to pay that off. Tax receipts are going to go down because nobody's making capital gains. That'll add to the deficit. So at some point, the Fed has to give up. They have to. Mathematically, they have to. And when they do, this winter may disappear as quickly as it came. Now, what comes next won't be healthy, but certainly we should see inflation driving asset prices up at that point. So this could be over by the end of the year, and we could be in a whole other paradigm.
Well, so according to Michael Arrington, the Fed is in trouble, and they can't print their way out of it. At some point, the crap is going to hit the fan, and he said mathematically this just can't last forever. So what happens at that point? Crypto assets gain traction and the paradigm shift, as he says, you know, it's not going to be a healthy situation, but the crypto winter could disappear as quickly as it appeared. And he was saying, you know, this could actually happen by the end of this year. Based on what the Fed is doing, calculating this mathematically, they just can't keep going on like this forever. And so, you know, this is the projection, at least from Michael Arrington, taking broader markets into account. Jungle Inc. even posting here, you know, this clip is all you got to know about how this crypto bear market plays out. So again, just bringing us back to the crypto market, bringing us back to those 70, 80, 90% corrections. Is this the time to buy? Are you loading up? Please put it down in the comment section. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.